Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Two Dimes and a Token. I am one of your hosts, Brucknasty, and in this particular episode, we had a superstar guest by the name of Mr. Cyrus Fees. This is the second time he's come on, but we had a whole adventure. We went down to Hollywood, Florida, and we were able to attend Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 57, BKFC 57. The man hooked it up. We got a backstage pass, which means we got a media pass. We were able to go to the post-fight press conference. We were able to get in early. We actually got into the arena, shot this podcast before all the fans were allowed in, and we felt like absolute fucking ballers. Give Cyrus Fees a round of applause right now. If you're sitting in front of a computer, if you're watching on your television, listening in your car, whatever it is, just clap your hands. Even if you're driving, clap your hands. Do your thing, all right? Thank you so much, Mr. Cyrus, dude. You are the man. We appreciate you. We shot a vlog that's going to come out probably in a couple days after the episode drops, so be on the lookout for that. We'll also be advertising that. But before we break into the episode, we got to make sure we remind everybody that this podcast is brought to you by none other than Death Grip Wax. Death Grip Wax is the leading edge company when it comes to your facial hair needs, all right? They have the greatest mustache wax developed on the entire planet. If you want to take your mustache from a 6 to a 10, Death Grip Wax is the product for you. You can go to deathgrip.com. They also offer different beard oils. They offer different instruments for you to be able to tidy up your facial hair construction. And they also offer an awesome gift bag whenever you do purchase. And if you use the promo code, all caps, 2 dimes and a token, you get 20% off your entire purchase. So be sure to go check it out at deathgripwax.com, or you can go in the link in our bio and you can shop Death Grip Wax there. So we're going to make this quick. The episode was pretty quick. We had to kind of jump to it because, again, Cyrus jumped in before he had to go through rehearsals and all that stuff. We have a nice, really big backdrop of the arena. We got a bunch of lights going on. It was a great time. Hey, and by the way, when you guys watch the vlog, I want you guys, every single one of you know, Kanyeezy was absolutely hammered. He was having a blast. We had a great friend that also joined us by the name of Nick Jones. A lot of you guys that probably tune in will know who he is. He's been on the podcast several times, especially for the UFC events. He came in and helped us out, did a bunch of camera stuff. So we got to give him a big shout out. Thank you so much, Mr. Nick. And I think that's pretty much it. So whenever you guys get a chance before, please go hit the subscribe button. We love you guys. We appreciate you, but we are trying to grow this thing. We want to make this thing a top 10 podcast in the entire world. We want to get the best people, and we need your help to do it. So please go hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys comment in the YouTube. Go in the comments. Write out your spice of the week. What is something that lit your week up and made it just a little bit better? And make sure you guys go to all the socials, like, subscribe, follow, all that bullshit. So thank you guys. We appreciate you. Without further ado, check out Mr. Cyrus Fees podcast before BKFC 57. Good. We're great. Fantastic, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude. This
Back
is
again.
Back again, bro. And we're here in
Just
Hollywood.
couldn't get enough Cyrus.
No, not enough, bro. There's never enough. Look at where we're sitting at. Thanks to Cyrus. We're here backstage in Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah.
At BKFC, right? 57.
Yes, sir.
Right? And basically the biggest one of the year.
I mean, it's early in the year. I'd say we're going to end up beating it, but for right now, it's the biggest one of the year for sure.
And I mean, you got the prelim set up, you got matchups galore, the highlights of the characters that are going to be here, from what I understand, celebrities coming to the house. Like
supposedly, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
You know, you hear rumblings, and sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. But they usually show up around here. They love it.
Dude, I feel it. We're rolling up, and I'm just kind of like, we're realizing like, oh man, the doors are locked. And when you said, hey, we're going to come back here and this is the first time you get to meet Kanyeezy, and I'm like, oh shit, we're going backstage. Yeah. We're going to do this thing. So again, thank you so much,
course,
bro. Thank you so much.
Man.
You
Absolutely,
are the man.
bro.
I appreciate you. So kick this thing off, man. I know Keon got a big one for you just to
you know, this is my hometown, so I'm just excited to be here. Obviously, you're in the front and center.
Mm-hmm.
This is a moment. I'm used to seeing, you know, your MMA, your boxing, but this is a step further because it's a little bit more gruesome, a little bit more in-depth when it comes to it. What is your biggest expectation of tonight? What do you think is going to be the the best fight that you see?
Well, I mean, that's really hard to pinpoint the best fight because they loaded this fight card like a different way. Like we always say on TV, it's a stacked fight card. But this one, there's a lot to prove on this fight card. There's so many things happening with Bare Knuckle right now where they're trying to take the next step. We're already like building steam and we're viral and we have all these things going on. It's a great product, but it's all about making the next step into a network deal, into a streaming deal, into like these more, where you're out there to everybody, and that's what they're trying to do right now. And there's a lot of things riding on this show, to be honest with you, man. There's rumblings. Like our president was just with Dana White 4 days ago in his office, shaking hands and stuff. We don't know what that is. Nobody's told us. I mean, some people know. I don't know what it is. I'm not there. But at the same time, there's a lot going on. A lot of potential investors could be here. Like there's just a lot of rumblings, a lot of celebrities. I know Shaq loves it. I think Shaq might be here. He's been to at least 3 of our events.
That's amazing.
And man, he loves Palomino, who's in the main event. He and Palomino are pretty tight, so he shows up to most of his fights. And man, he eats it up, bro. His eyes are always like just peeled on every fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm expecting a lot, and this crowd's always dope. We always bring the best fighters out to Hollywood, Florida. So I mean, you're going to see something really good, especially since it's your first event. Like, you're going to be really into this.
It's been a long time since I've been a virgin. So I'm letting you know right now, we're opening up front line and center.
I know, bro. Honestly, I'm like, my excitement's exceeding my ability to get my question out. But it's like, dude, so now you're about to do rehearsal here.
Yeah.
And, like, what's going to be your steps throughout the night? Like, walk me through what the night's going to be like for you. Because you're going to have highs and lows. You're going to be ramping the crowd up. Like,
My night's nonstop tonight, so I'll give you a little bit of a playbook on what I have to do tonight. So we'll do rehearsals. We'll open the show at 8:00. I do an open at the podium, which you'll see it on the right side of the stage. I do the open out to the audience at home, and then kind of give them an idea of what's happening tonight. We'll go through all the fights. I'll throw it down to the commentators. From there, I think I got one fight, right? I don't do anything during the first fight, but we come back, and I should be interviewing people in the crowd. So I'll move from my podium down to ringside, looking for like our fighters that are here, celebrities that might be here early. A lot of the times they show up a little bit later. We'll get as many people as we can get ringside. Then I'll go back up to my post, and then I might have one fight where I'm chill, and then I go back and do another open after the third fight, and then I start doing interviews backstage on an interview set of our co-main event and our main event fighters, and of our president. And then I'll do more interviews at ringside, and then I'll go do another main event open, and then I'll do the post-fight interviews for the main event and the co-main event, and then close out the night from the podium. Bro, when I tell you I don't stop, I get the most FaceTime out of everybody in the show. And I like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I made my whole career doing ring announcing, which I love ring announcing. You get a lot of FaceTime there too, but ring announcing and play-by-play, you really get no FaceTime.
Yeah.
But as the host, all you see is me. You know what I mean? You damn, they're going to get sick of me because I'm everywhere, and so it is what it is. I love it. I like bouncing around. It makes the night go fast, and the adrenaline just never stops pumping. You know what I mean?
I got a real question for you. Like
sure,
that little kid inside you. Do you have childlike joy when you're out there?
I do. Yeah. I mean, my dream was to be in the WWF for the longest time, to be like a ring announcer, an interviewer, that sort of thing. And I haven't been able to crack into the WWF. I've had a few opportunities where it's been kind of close, where I've been in the conversation and it hasn't happened. But at the same time, everybody that I've talked to that's worked for them didn't really like their time there. You know what I mean? Because it's so crazy. I got a family. I got 2 kids that I love and I love to spend time with. So I don't know that I could hold down a WWE schedule. I probably couldn't. I'd probably try to make it work. But as a little kid, man, I love doing what I do, bro. But this is like 12, 13 years of doing this on a big level. So like, it's business,
It's like our last podcast, you told us you've been across all different, like you did some for the UFC, you've done some for other organizations, but this seems like it just has like captivated your attention. When we first talked about it, bro, you were hype, and the biggest thing was like you're riding a train, like, bro, I'm going to be a part of something that grew into an elite organization. And obviously with the level of marketing that's been pushed on these, and the level of attraction, followers on social media, like all that stuff, I think you're 100% right. So like, where, as far as like towards the end of the year, you guys have a few more planned out. How far out are they going?
I mean, well, we should have at least 29 shows in the U.S. this year.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then probably 15 international. So I mean, yeah, we got a lot of fights this year. Not more.
How do you get to all of them? Like, or as many as you can, like kind of thing.
I do everything that's in the U.S. Anything that's overseas, they do remotely. The play-by-play guy and our commentary team does, so they don't need a host position for that.
Yeah,
which is okay. I mean, I'll take those breaks. You know what I mean? Like 2 or 3 a month is what I need. You know what I mean? Because I got the arcade back home. I got my kids. Those 2 things are a huge part of my life. So I do about as much right now as I can handle. You know what I mean? If I had to do more, I would do more. But as it stands right now, I'm real happy with my workload.
Yeah.
Like, I dig it.
Does it ever get old? Like, ever?
The travel gets real old, right? For me, the travel's the work. You know what I mean? That doing this is fun, man. I mean, it's adrenaline and it's fun and it's rewarding. And, like you get instant feedback. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing a good job or you don't. So I love this part of it. Like fight day and rehearsals, all that stuff's fun to me. The travel sucks. I hate travel, bro. Like I hate airplanes. I hate airports. I hate delays. I hate everything that has to do with an airport. I can't fucking stand anymore, if you want to know the truth of it.
There you go.
He had traffic on the way here, so I'm trusting you.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a car all day. I told somebody on the way here, I said, let me get John Madden money. Let me get the Madden Cruiser, bro. Let me get the Cyrus Cruiser.
Just rolling down.
We'll roll, bro.
24-foot long
bus. Let me bring the family with me. We'll homeschool, and we'll just ride the whole country.
How old are your boys, if you mind me asking?
So I have a daughter that's 11. I have a son that's 9.
I mean, that's the perfect age right there. They're just as excited as you are.
And they're into everything too, right? Yeah.
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 It's just like Avery and Reiner.
Yeah, that's spot on. Like that same age. Do they want to do the exact same thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see my son doing that. My daughter's like got that big personality, and she likes to be in front of a crowd and be loud and stuff. I had her do a ring announcement one time at a regional show that we did. She did the main event with me, and she did my my little main event catchphrase, and she killed it. Absolutely killed it. I mean, she like rolled right into it, had all the inflection, like she just murdered it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I don't know. If there was going to be any one of them, it'd be her. My son's super, super intellectual and focused on things. Like, he'll, figure out the cure to something. You know what I mean? Like, he'll create something massive and do big things. But they're great. They're great personalities.
So, getting back into tonight, man, what do you see being the most exciting moment? I mean, obviously, like you said, we talked about some of the celebrities that are coming. You got tons of great fights. Like, personally, if you weren't the announcer, what would be the fight that you would want to see most tonight? If you were just a fan sitting in the crowd.
Man, it's really hard not to just want the main event, just because it's got so much on the line. It's got a championship on the line. Palomino's been our GOAT, really. I mean, he's kind of become, and I say this loosely because Mayweather is kind of on this level, but he's like our Mayweather. Like, he knows how to play the game. He knows how to not get hit. You know what I mean? That's how Mayweather has been so good. He just knows how not to get hit. He uses that shoulder roll and does his thing. And Palomino's like that. You know what I mean? He's not going to score a bunch of knockouts, which, fans love that. They want to see knockouts. The guy he's fighting is Austin Trout. Guy is an elite world-level boxer, won the WBA World Championship, it was a while ago, but, he won it when he was, in his 20s. So you got an elite-level boxer facing our bare-knuckle GOAT. Yeah. But there's different motivations because, see, that's my favorite thing about fights is there's always a story, right? There's always a story, and you got to find what the story is. The story is Palomino's mad because he hasn't got the money fights, right? Mike Perry's gotten all the attention since he showed up, and Palomino hasn't got that attention, and he hates it. You know what I mean? You could tell that it sticks in him, and I don't think he would even care for me to say that. I think it's obvious. So he wants the money fights. Like, he wants the McGregor fight, or he wants a Mike Perry fight. You know what I mean? And because Palomino doesn't quite get the same attention as some of these other guys, that talk a bunch of shit and do all the theatrics, they haven't given him that money fight. Well, this is kind of his money fight because Austin Trout's a former WBA world champion. Like, the highest level boxer that we've had in the organization is tonight. And he's motivated, and he wants to beat Palomino's ass. And he wants to, dominate this sport too. Like, I talked to him earlier today at the hotel. We were at breakfast. And I was like, man, I said, it just feels like you really want to be here. And he goes, yeah, I do. He's like, I want to run this shit. And Palomino is in this spot where, does he still want to? I don't know. Like, what's their motivation? You know what I mean? I feel like Trout's more hungry is what I think. You know what I mean? So I think Trout might come out and work him. I really think that might happen.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's the most intriguing fight of the night.
And to be honest, it makes so much sense because, like we were talking about this, I mean, this company's on the rise. Like, this is becoming a top tier, popular, mixed martial arts combat, everything. So, like, having that motivation to come in and dominate the rising up organization, that honestly, that would light me up.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that right there alone, being the Michael Jordan of this actual arena, that would give me enough chip on my shoulder to come out here and defend it.
He got a massive chip on his shoulder, too. I mean, he really does. Palomino does, and I will not ever doubt him. Every time you think somebody might get him, he's just too good.
He just figures out a way.
Bro. Yeah, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. It seems like he's in this real kind of a pissy attitude, like he's just kind of mad all the time and shit. And I think people are kind of villainizing him a little bit now. Like they're kind of tired of it. Like he's rubbing people the wrong way a little bit. He still has a ton of fans, but he's rubbing people the wrong way, and people are waiting to see who can beat him.
It's almost like being a heel in the WWF.
Yeah, it's very much that. Very much that. He hasn't quite embraced it yet, but I think he will soon. Sorry if I'm checking my clock.
We are in a time crunch.
We got about 15, 16, so it's all good, but we'll make them count.
So we're looking behind us is like the stage. I know you guys can't see it, but everything's lit up right now, and they had some music.
We'll have it in the B-roll, right?
We will actually have it in the vlog that's going to come out. But
I try to set the tone for the whole night if I can.
I know, and as I think one thing that people don't know is like one of the reasons why you hear, especially when you hear about the UFC, you always hear about Buffer, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you hear Joe Rogan's podcast and all these other guys talk about how great he is, right? People don't know unless you've been here live, like the host of the show, that's who keeps the juice flowing. Like when the fight's not going on, like people can't just go up and down the whole night. There's got to be something to talk about. There's got to be people moving the juice, and that's what you do, and you've done for so long. And just seeing it online too, watching it, you're like, bro, this guy's jacked up for these fights.
Yeah.
So like, how are you feeling coming in right now? Do you ever come in, you get a little bit nervous, or you kind of?
I feel like I'm always rushed, like no matter what, you know what I mean? And it's like today I was like on time and I was on my way, and I was like, man, I needed an undershirt and a new belt. And I was like, fuck it. So I diverted and went to Kohl's, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna be up against the clock now. You know what I mean? But I do that all the time, and it's like it just happens for whatever reason. And I think maybe subconsciously I like to be under pressure is what it comes down to, you know, and deliver. And like I was telling you guys, when I'm under pressure and I feel like my back's against the wall, it's when I put out my best shows. You know, when I have no sleep or whatever the situation might be, that's when I do my best, because you have no safety net. What do you do if you fuck up? Then it's like then the show sucks. You know what I mean? Like
everyone knows.
And I can't be that guy, man. I'm not, and another thing is I'm not under contract. You know what I mean? A lot of guys in my position are not under contract. So you fuck up bad enough, they could cut you loose. You know what I mean? So I feel like I try to make every show seem like it's going to be my last show. You know what I mean? So it's just
dope. Yeah.
How do you sleep the night before knowing that? Like that would have me with the jitters.
I'm comfortable. I know that I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable knowing that I do a great job. I have a very loyal team behind me. Like Bare Knuckle loves me. I love them. You know what I mean? It's a really good relationship, and I'm riding hard for them because I know what's coming. You know what I mean? I can feel it in my bones. Whereas I've worked for other shows that were on the way up or just starting, and I didn't have that same feeling. Like, you're like, oh, shit, they're messing this up. They're messing this up. They're not going to be long for this world. Bare Knuckle's going to be long for this world, bro. All you got to do is talk to our president. Maybe we'll get him on a podcast, but that guy will motivate you to do fucking anything.
Yeah.
Like you talked about running through a wall.
Hell yeah.
He will have you run through a fucking wall. Like he's that guy.
I'm getting jacked up right now. Like we're ready. I'm ready to get in it now.
I'm not getting in the ring.
After the fights, come to the post-fight press conference. You'll have a credential and just listen to him talk. You know what I mean? Like he goes from crying to screaming to cursing because everything's riding on the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different like a Dana White, where Dana sold and made his money. Like he's doing this just because he still loves it.
Yeah.
David Feldman's doing it because like he has everything riding on this shit. And he has his son working for him, and he has this whole team that he's loyal to. He doesn't want to let them down. So every show has to be a knockout of the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he busts his ass, bro. And it motivates all of us to do the same thing.
Dude, that's incredible. So like the preparation that goes into these things, I'm pretty sure you're privy to a lot of that.
Yeah.
Since like you said, each show has got to be a home run all the way out the park. Like what kind of prep goes into this throughout the week?
I mean, it just depends on who you're talking about. I mean, when it comes to production, they're constantly, doing different things and making sure logistically that everything's here. And every piece of equipment's here, and all the videos are done
Yeah.
prior to. I mean, you got a whole video team that's working on all the videos that show up before the fights and all the preview videos and all that stuff that you see during the broadcast. All that gets done throughout the week. They're constantly busting their ass. For me, I can just kind of roll in and do my thing. Like, I'll work the night before and I do my scripts and all my opens. But I feel like I've done this long enough that you put something in front of me and I can do it. You know what I mean?
You just really need the layout of where you need to go.
Exactly. And
professional at work, baby.
You've seen the fighters go from rookie to where they are right now. All these guys are all obviously pros, but you've seen them go from their first fight to where they are
I love
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you think they can last? Bare knuckles is completely different from boxing.
I think they can last longer here. Here's the reason why. The thing with bare knuckle is everybody thinks it's scarier, that it's more dangerous, and it's not. There's a lot of cuts and there's a lot of blood. That's surface, bro. If they stitch that shit up, you're good. Boxing, it's just not nonstop getting banged in the head. It's like being a football player on the line, bro. Like, you're just constantly, your brain's shaking all day long. Bare knuckle, it's 5 2-minute rounds no matter what. It's fast-paced. You get in there, you get out of there. Boxing could be 15 3-minute rounds, bro. You know what I mean? And MMA could be 5 5-minute rounds. That's 25 minutes of getting your head beat up. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of science done on it. And our main doctor, Don Muzi, is our guy. And he's done full-on, reports in the medical journal about how it is more safe. A lot of people don't believe it. You tell anybody, you say, yeah, bare knuckle's safe. And they're like, yeah, bullshit. No, it really is. Because you got a glove on, you think you can punch through a wall. You'll punch so much harder than if you don't have a glove on. And you feel that bone on bone, you're like, oh shit, I need to take it back a little bit. I got to be selective with my punches. I can't get hit because I might get cut. So you're like doing better at evading shots. Like there's so many things that go into it, so many nuances. And I can explain it to you, but still people aren't going to fucking believe it. Yeah. Like, they still have to get told by a doctor and get walked through the process. Otherwise, they think it's the most brutal shit in the world, and it's just not.
Who was the fighter? They had the 2 ex-UFC guys. I'll get 2 questions.
You're good, bro. You're good.
There was 2 ex-UFC
Alvarez
guys.
and
Mendez, that's what it was. Do you remember when they fought? Mendez even commented on the same thing that you're saying. He's like, actually, realistically, with bare knuckle, it's actually
Alvarez says the same thing.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter, to be honest.
And they've made their whole lives in combat sports. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when they say it, people hear that shit. You know what I mean? And that's what we need more of. And these guys are constantly putting it out there. They love training for bare knuckle. They love the fights. It's just better overall. And it's fast. And the fans love it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's chaos.
Non-stop action.
And to be honest, I love, and I think the big thing too, this is just an opinion here, the 2-minute rounds, I think that captures the attention span.
Yeah, you got to get up and go, bro.
Get up and go, like boom, boom, boom. 2 minutes, go, boom. All right, break.
There ain't no messing around.
You can't feel a person out at all. Like to me, I tell Bruck all the time, I do kickboxing, so I enjoy it. Yeah. But if it goes past 60 seconds, I'm getting a little nervous because you don't know how much that person has trained.
Cyrus, he's like the black Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I go for it.
I can see it.
I appreciate it. I did this for you guys, but nevertheless, at the end of the day, when you train, you don't know how far and how much that person has started fighting or where they are in their expertise in that level. Yep. So you have that level of uncertainty. When you're fighting in this 2 minutes, you can't feel that person out.
No.
It's just go. Do you see people? I know we've seen him. I can't even think of a fighter right now. He got into the ring as a boxer. He knocked somebody out and he killed him. When you have bare knuckle, do you think that it would ever get to that extreme where you see people get knocked out and they don't get back up anymore?
No, I mean, there's always those situations. And what you'll find is most of the time that you see a death in the ring, a lot of times because they had some sort of a prior condition. Yeah. They may have a heart condition. They may have something going on that you find out later. Initially, you think, oh, shit, another boxing death, another, pretty rare an MMA death. It does happen. But it's usually like they were super ass dehydrated or they had a heart condition and somehow it got through the physicals and, and that sort of thing. So, I mean, if it's all really regulated and they're doing all the vitals on these guys and doing what they're supposed to, those things shouldn't happen. Yeah. Could it happen? Hell yeah, it could happen. And these guys know that when they step inside the ring, and a lot of them will say that, and it's not a cliche. It's real shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to go in there and die. You fall the wrong way, bro. We've all seen freaking, what was it? Cinderella Man or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or not Cinderella Man.
$1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby.
That's it.
She falls and hits her neck on the
Hits her neck
freaking
right on the chair,
stool. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody's never seen that, it's a spoiler. But
Yeah, we killed it for you.
You guys never killed me. I never seen it. I appreciate you guys telling me
you
how.
really need to watch it.
Yeah.
But, I got one more thing for
Come
you.
on.
I wanted to follow up with
Sure,
this, and
bro.
I don't think I ever got a chance to ask you in person, man.
Yeah.
So we came in to the arcade right before the opening of the renovation.
Yeah.
How has that gone for the arcade, man?
Yeah, so it's been really good. Overall, it's a big upgrade. Like
Yes.
all the paint, the carpet, all the things, all the new games. It's created another revenue stream for us, which
Yes.
is great. So it pretty much doubled our revenue, but at the same time, we pay more rent, we pay more electricity, big time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it all kind of balanced out a little bit, but we are winning more, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. We had a great holiday season, but now it's slowing down because kids went back to school. But you got to be ready for that. And even though it sucks and you see a day where they made $100 and you're like, shit, I paid this much in wages and this much in electricity. I lost today. You know what I mean? You got to be able to take that on the chin and realize, okay, it's a slow time. It's going to be up and down. And you just got to ride it, bro. And there's times where it gets harder than other days,
Yes.
But yeah, overall it's good. We're not killing it. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing is I'm using the arcade to really touch my community and be involved with the community, hooking kids up with free arcade passes, doing the spelling bee, which we just got done doing that.
Yeah.
Got the county spelling bee Monday. Doing all these things sponsorship-wise that I'm in the community. And listen, if Vision Quest burned down tomorrow, bro, we did something amazing in the community, and it got me in a community that I never was in. I just lived in Johnson City. Now I'm a part of Johnson City. Like, I have a book, you know what I mean? I have, I'm on the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm in the Rotary Club and like Rising. Like, there's good shit that's come out of it. So no matter what happens with the arcade, I won.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I'm good.
Hey, you're Charlie Sheenan right now. It don't matter, baby.
Tiger blood, baby.
That's what I'm talking
This
about.
All tiger blood.
More your passion
Yeah.
than the arcade.
Working with kids is actually probably my biggest passion, but I do love being on camera, man. I really, really do. And I like to go back and watch myself. I'll be the first to tell you. Every time I do something, I go back and watch it. Every time I do a podcast with you or I do a podcast for my own podcast, I go back and watch it because I want to get better and I want to do better every time. So I do love doing this, though. You know what I mean, man? I mean, that's what I grew up wanting to do, was to be on television. And I'm here. So.
I really wish you were there for the first one because we had probably about an hour and 20 minutes, and we went through.
We dug into it.
Yeah, we dug into a lot of stuff, bro. It was dope. That was a great podcast. So
yeah,
next time we'll get it. We'll close this one out. Like I said, we're gonna go a little bit early.
Yeah.
But again, I want everybody that's tuning in, make sure you go follow Mr. Cyrus Fees on Instagram. Any other socials, Twitter, all that stuff?
TikTok,
Twitter, please
Instagram.
do.
I don't fuck with TikTok very much, but I do have it.
I gotta give this shout out because we basically kind of linked up, coming down to Hollywood, Florida, and it was kind of a late thing. And he said, "Hey man, grab a few tickets, come on down, maybe we can shoot a podcast." And I was like, "Hell yes!" We get to Monday, and this guy calls me up, has a few possible special guest people, and says, "Hey, we'll get you a media pass. We'll make it happen." And I said, "What?" And he's like, "We'll get you in there, get you guys some good content for your vlog, bro." This guy pulled every string, and without even asking, without even having to, like, just a huge dude. We appreciate it so much.
I support the hustle, bro. I know you guys are working hard, and
you are the man.
The efforts you guys do to do your podcast, a lot of people don't do. So you get a lot of props for that from me because I've done podcasts, and it's hard. It's hard to stay consistent. It's hard to stay on it, to stay motivated. And you guys seem to have it, So, I mean, that's half the battle, is having that motivation and wanting to go out and do the editing and go here and go there and bring all this equipment around, man. You gotta love it.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can't.
Well, this is our passion now. It's no ifs, ands, buts.
Yes.
This is how you want to be seen in the future.
Gotta have it, man.
And as a father, I tell everyone that I want my kids to be able to look back and say, okay, I can look and see my dad, what he did in his 20s, what he did in his 30s.
Yeah.
This allows that to be that window of opportunity. Because when we get older, we won't be doing these things.
My kids hate hearing about my shit. Between my wife and my kids are like, "Oh yeah, you're going to go do this? Oh cool." You
That's
know what I mean?
great,
Like,
but you're living the dream. Your kids are like, "Hey, listen, my dad."
It's tough when the family gets used to the superstar lifestyle. They're like, "That's great."
But I'll tell you this though. The funny thing is, they talk all their shit. My kids do, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever. You're going and being on this TV show and this TV show." But sometimes they'll come home and they'll be like, "Hey, Dad, everybody was Googling their parents and nobody came up except for mine. They're like, it was really cool. I was like, yeah, it sure is.
Immediately, like in your mind, you're like,
yep,
Mic drop.
what up?
Exactly.
Awesome. So we'll wrap this thing up. Thank you so much, man.
Of course.
And,
enjoy the show tonight, man.
Yes, we will definitely be enjoying the show. And if you are checking out through the end of this episode, the vlog should be released within 2 weeks after, because we want to put all the clips together. We're gonna have like 8 hours worth of footage, most likely, because we have multiple cameras running.
Yeah.
So
this is my first time again. I'm a virgin. I'm enjoying this.
Yes.
I'm definitely gonna enjoy it with Virgin Eyes. But now you guys have a lifelong fan because I just love fighting.
Yes.
You're going to love it.
So before you go, subscribe, like, comment. Make sure you go subscribe everywhere for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and find my man here, Mr. Cyrus Fees. All right?
There it is.
Boom.
2 dimes and a token.
You make Wolf see.